Whoa, careful there, Annie Oakley.
I don't have to be careful. I got a gun.
Well, you'll probably want the accessory kit, holster,
Oh, yeah.
bandolier,
Baby.
silencer, loudener, speed cocker.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
And this is for shooting down police helicopters.
Oh, I don't need anything like that. Yet. Just give me my gun.
Sorry, the law requires a 5-day waiting period. We've got to run a background check.
5 days? But I'm mad now.
Yeah.
I'd kill you if I had my gun.
Yeah, well, you don't.
Welcome to Speak Geek, your weekly video game podcast, celebrating its 5th episode. Woo! This is Pedro.
This is George.
This is Travis.
This is Junior.
All right, guys, let's speak some geek.
All right, so to start this off, actually, I wanted to talk a little, just conversate, about some random stuff. I saw Resident Evil Retribution over the weekend.
Okay, well, that's the movie.
That's the 5th one. Yeah, the
Okay,
5th movie.
okay.
Yeah, that movie's terrible, man.
Wait, you went in there with high expectations?
No, are you crazy? I just downloaded it from the internet, man.
Oh, okay.
And so my girlfriend and I are watching this movie, and they have such big ideas, but I think it's because they have such a low budget, ability, because their production companies are off-named companies. So then you watch the film, and there's such green screened moments and such CGI moments that you can see are just bad.
Who's the director?
It's Paul W.S. Anderson, right?
The Devil.
The
The
Devil.
He's not.
the one that got the Doom license and all those movies.
Did he?
No?
I
Or
don't
is
know.
that
He-
Schumacher or who?
That's
who am I thinking
Shoemaker.
About here?
That's
Okay.
Shoemaker.
Alien vs.
Okay.
Predator. He did Alien vs. Predator with the first one, which was
That was mediocre.
okay.
And then they went to the crappy
and then,
Requiem.
he doesn't come back for the second one. Lets it die essentially because the second one was god awful. He did the first Mortal Kombat, which was okay.
That was his break into films, wasn't it, or something? Because he loved the game so much.
Yeah,
something.
he was okay. The movie was okay, and then he let it go. And whoever did the second one just kind of took a turd on the script. It was so god awful. The only credible thing I give him is Death Race. He did
Death Race? Oh, that's right. That was.
But he
him.
could have. You know what he could have done? He could have just called it Twisted Metal for all he cared about.
Probably. but no, Resident Evil Retribution, man, that movie sucks.
It was
it
was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the fourth one.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm sitting here watching it, and they forget about all these characters. What happened to Kmart? What happened to Claire and Chris? What happened to all these characters that they established?
I didn't like
they're just
Claire
gone.
and Chris in the movie. So
I didn't either, but
didn't give a fuck.
they're just gone though.
They're gone.
She
Good.
doesn't even make reference to. Oh my God, they died on the ship. Or she's like.
No, she did. She asked where they are. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And they didn't answer.
Yeah.
They're like, what is your operation, or what is your task? And she just where are they? And then they played the loud sound.
You guys are kind of going all around, about this the wrong way. You guys didn't mention the biggest part. Who the fuck is Alice?
Yeah.
Alice. Oh, the whole movie, Resident Evil, based on Alice, a character that, what I've seen, I think there was one Alice in the Resident Evil, but it wasn't.
She was like a mention.
Yeah, it was a mention. Yeah,
paper.
Yeah,
or
All
no,
panel.
just an Alice, and yet, here she is, Alice. Resident Evil about Alice. Still, let's not do Chris. Let's not do Leon. Let's not do anybody. Let's do Alice and give her superpowers of some sort. That's cool.
Eventually, in the second one.
That's
yeah.
terrible.
That's pretty bad.
The superpowers was weird, but the whole Alice thing, that's been going on for 5 movies now. They just created her story. It's whatever. But they had Barry. I was very happy they had Barry
Yeah,
in there.
Barry
was
finally.
cool.
Even though he got
Barry was
taken
cool.
out like a bitch.
Did he?
Yeah, he was in
No,
the.
he went out like a G. What are you talking about? He did
Barry?
get taken out, but he went out like a G.
Wait,
He's
who?
not- he'll
Oh,
take
sorry.
those-
I was thinking of the other guy that got taken out by a claw. Barry actually went out at the very end, didn't he?
Yeah, Barry went out at the end.
Wait,
Okay.
I've just seen the first. I want to say 3. I saw 2 by myself, and then I saw 1 at George's house. Which one did we watch?
No, dude, we saw the fourth one.
Okay, so I've seen 1st, 2nd, and 4th.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I think they're terrible movies.
They're pretty
but
bad.
I guess my question is, if Resident Evil did not exist, that we didn't have these games, do you think they would be okay movies in their own right, or they're still
the
terrible?
First two. The first two.
Probably,
The
yeah. I
First
think-
two. They went a completely just stupid way with the whole powers thing. But I guess seeing as that it's hard to not compare it to Resident Evil.
Yeah, exactly.
When it has the Resident Evil
You can't
name.
just forget it.
Yeah. So it's hard to say if I would have. I mean, I don't think I would have liked this.
But-
this virus that's supposed to be giving, like, instead of giving you power, it's supposed to kill you and make you an undead.
Right.
I would still question it a lot. It's like, why did this bitch get powers?
Well,
while everybody else in the world is just like, yeah.
I think at this point it's more or less just named Resident Evil to sell it on the brand. Like,
Yeah.
like like you said, it probably could be named something else and change the characters' names, and no one would really care or notice.
Yeah.
But at that point, you would get just another campy B action movie. So you throw Resident Evil on there, you're gonna at least get the fanboys or just some fans to go see it at that point.
There's actually a big following for these movies.
Yeah,
So
so
a lot of people online like, this was the best one yet.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, for this one, I'll give it that the action for this one entertained me. They didn't skimp out like in the fourth one. It was just like they prolonged a 30-second fight into like a 3-minute
With the quarters, with the silver dollars or
with the
whatever.
silver dollars and all that.
I hated it in 5. Just the whole like. It's like evil goes viral, and you're like, oh, okay, so they're going traveling around the world. No, they're still in an underground facility. It's just the underground facility has terrains to match the real world.
Really?
So they go from like a New York terrain,
Oh, so this was
and then they go to like a
definitely-
Moscow
to
terrain.
This
to
was definitely
Moscow.
filmed
to
in
like
front of a green
a
screen. huh?
sub or
Completely.
it's like all green screen. It's, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I did like the fight at the end, Jill and
Dude,
Alice. Just,
Alice got her shit kicked.
Fuck.
man.
That was so good. I was cheering Jill on the entire time.
made-
Jill's all like, "Damn, she's getting her ass kicked. Yes, die, Alice, die."
Then I found it funny how when Michelle Rodriguez, is that her name, like came back, I'm like, ugh, really? Then she starts kicking her ass. I'm like, ugh.
The only
Oh,
thing I like
she was
about that
whooping
series
Leon's
is
and-
the very first movie, the last shot in that movie when Alice steps out of the hospital and it's just a pan that's like stretching out and showing you all of Raccoon City.
I love
that
that
was a badass shot.
I love that. And she just takes the shotgun, and then all of a sudden the paper flies on.
See,
and
now
it's like
that is a tight
raccoon
shot.
overrun, and I was like, that's pretty sweet. That was
Yeah.
actually pretty cool. And then that actually got me kind of excited for them to do a sequel, but at the same time, I kind of hoped they wouldn't, because just leave you on that note to be like, that's right, now the game's kind of started.
Nemesis was in the second one, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the one where like her
boyfriend
there's like a
turned into
priest
him.
and he's holding like he tied up his like son or something, or
Yeah.
he's feeding him,
It
or
was her sister.
her sister. Okay, yeah. That movie was okay. Yeah, you guys are. I agree. The first two were decent.
Yeah, the first two were decent,
Yeah.
and then after that, they just kind of went downhill. Because then at
Yeah.
that point, I mean, I don't know, you just kind of
Yeah,
becoming an
I
apocalypse.
hated the third. The abortion that was the fourth. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
fourth one.
And
That was when
this
Paul-
one was a step up.
That was when,
coming back up from that.
The fourth one,
This
the fourth one
charcoal.
was when Paul W.S. Anderson came back, wasn't it? Because he
the
didn't.
fourth one.
Yeah, he didn't do 2 or 3, right?
No,
he produced.
He produced.
But then he came back officially because that was big news. They're like, he's
Yeah,
back.
he came back. That's why I had some hope that it would be like it would come back from the third one, but it just actually dove
Yeah.
into like a
Well-
black hole.
Took a nosedive.
At,
Yeah,
at,
nose dive into the
at
the
that point,
abyss.
he's just getting a fat paycheck now. I think is all he really cares about. Those movies are making him money. But,
That's true.
Anyways, so we'll start the news off here. Got quite a few things we can talk about.
Awesome.
Starting with number 1, Deep Silver announced the special edition for the new Dead Island Riptide. It included a torso of a female zombie's body. So like all it was a torso. So you got like boobs pretty much. So they announced it, and it was only for the UK and Australia. But following the announcement, I guess they got a ton of backlash or feedback from the people online, and they officially announced the public apology to the internet.
Wait. This was an image or
No,
No,
they
it's a
released.
statue.
It was a statue.
Oh, no way.
collector's
Yeah,
edition
it's like a
statue.
collector's edition, and it was a statue of like a woman's chest, but she was zombied, so she was missing the head, and it was from the waist, like the waist was
wrong with
missing,
that?
the arms were missing, and there was like all bite marks in her, and it was just kind of her boobs
Well, you
and
know
her stomach.
Australia, man.
Oh,
Aus-
I
it was
completely
UK and
overlooked that.
Australia,
Yeah, it was-
and Australia
Yeah,
is
okay,
like-
yeah.
It was for the UK and Australia, so I don't know, like they didn't announce that they're changing the collector's edition or not, but
Okay.
they just got like backlash. Everyone and they issued apologies like,
Australia's
within
so
a few
strange
hours.
with that, like their Left 4 Dead box art, the hand is complete and it's not missing a finger.
Oh, yeah.
Left 4 Dead 2, the actual gameplay, like the zombies don't like get cut up, they just fade. They fall to the floor and fade.
Yeah.
When you set people on fire, they die from the fire, but they don't catch on fire.
Yeah,
it's so strange.
It's because they don't have an M rating out there, and I think that was a big thing for Australia recently because they just recently the government they're regulated by the government. They're not
Okay.
regulated by like an ESRB where we are, where it's a kind of a public group.
Mhm.
So the government rates it, and the government never really had an M rating. So what happened is a lot of games never made it over there, as far as like M rating games. Like they didn't get the most recent Mortal Kombat, and never
Right,
because it was
yeah.
rated M, and then they
Figures.
have only up to a teen rating there. So when that like didn't happen, a bunch of people got pissed off and they petitioned like the government to be like, hey, create an 18+ rating like America has and all that. And I think it just finally passed the bill. So I don't know what they're going to start editing the content still, but they finally they're finally going to start getting some more like hardcore games because like I said, they were dumbing down. Like you say, Left 4 Dead, they were dumbing it down to teen games because they didn't have 18+ over there.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense.
But that was one of the items we had. We also got oh my gosh, Disney announced Disney Infinity. No one really cares about that. Where it's like Toy Story 3 sandbox game.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's you get to create your own games, do whatever you want, but they kind of incorporated the whole Skylanders portal thing.
Oh.
So you can drop your own custom characters. You have a Captain Jack and Sully.
Interesting.
And then you can like play with.
Wait,
people.
wasn't this already a game?
No, this was like their big announcement because there were tons. Like they made trademarks, and then there was just tons of rumors going around.
I recall, what game was it then? I recall E3 2010. They had a game where it's like a Disney universe, and there's little like kind of like chibi avatars.
Oh, that was I think actually called Disney Universe.
Oh, okay.
That was it. That was.
It kind of sounds similar.
That was different. I think this is kind of the same thing, but now they're going off of the success of Toy Story 3 because that was actually one of like the highest Disney rate like. Critically appealed games. I think it got in the 80s.
It was a pretty good game,
and I think it sold pretty well too. But that was Toy Story 3. So they went back to the same studio, which is I think Avalanche.
Okay,
is what they're called. Is the name of the studio, just to do this one. And they're like I said, they're also probably trying to cash in on the whole success of Skylanders, which.
I'm so surprised that's huge.
They announced yesterday that brand Skylanders brand in general is now worth $500 million.
Wow,
that is huge for Activision. Because those toys, man, toys sell a grip.
No, like when I saw those toys on the rack and stuff, I'm like, it's a cool concept, but at the same time, I thought like, there's no way this is gonna catch on, you know?
That's what I thought.
Like it's one of those things that seems like too obvious. Like let's make a game where you can incorporate the toys and then you could also play with the toy. But it sounded so expensive.
That's what I thought too. I just figured parents would be like, no, you already own like the box beginner set.
Exactly.
But no, I guess they still sell like crazy. Like, I don't know. I mean, I just see like you see everyone complaining about money nowadays, and then I figured I was like, I don't think parents are gonna go buy their kids these little toys to then go play their game some more.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought, but it's they're hitting it big with that.
That's pretty crazy.
Actually, I think that's more incentive for the parents to buy these kids these toys, because then you have, instead of if it comes to this, I can buy you a new game, or I can buy you these toys, which are gonna be way cheaper than a $60 game anyway.
Right.
So you're just gonna have it that way. That way, for the parents, it's cheaper realistically, because if they already have their kids playing these video games, buy them Skylanders, and it's a lot cheaper to maintain that as opposed to keep buying them a new game every couple of months.
True, fair enough. Because the boosters are like what, $8 or something?
No, they're about like
they sell
10 to 15.
And it comes with like 2 or 3, right?
No,
No,
you
it
can
comes single.
you can buy like the individuals for
really?
like they think like depending on the one, like you can get like the legend brands, which are like
Oh.
$10, but if you go for like the cheap regular ones, they're like 5, 6, and then you can go for like kind of the big old 3-pack for 15.
Isn't Spyro in this thing
it's
too?
more.
I could have sworn I saw Spyro.
I think he was
in
one of
there.
the original ones. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean. So.
Well,
It's
good.
good.
That's cool for them, I guess.
One cool thing that I'd like to see, I know this is going back a little bit to maybe our last segment, maybe just a little bit, but a Pokemon game on the console
Like
using
that.
that Skylanders idea would be pretty awesome. I'm just throwing that out there. I think it would be very awesome, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I think that'd be spectacular.
I'd have way too many action figures.
I think at that. I mean, it might. If Disney probably catches on, I'm sure some other company. Because
Yeah.
I mean, who knows who owns the patent for that technology? Or if it's even
Actually, I don't even know if Nintendo would be brave enough to do that. They already tried so many things, like the e-reader.
Oh,
They tried to
yeah.
push that so hard
Yeah.
and failed miserably. You know, like I don't know. I don't know if they want to take chances anymore.
Yeah. Well, next thing we got is everyone. Devil May Cry came out today.
Yeah, it did.
For our listeners, we were recording this on Tuesday. But yeah, Devil May Cry came out today, and it's getting very good reviews.
Really?
I'm excited. I just picked up my copy, so I'm excited.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember playing at E3 for a bit,
I played that too.
and it was
Awesome.
good.
I'm excited. I enjoyed the Devil May Cry series, and I was very excited for them to this whole rebranding, relaunching of it, and I think it's gonna probably do well for Ninja Theory, and I'm sure we'll probably most definitely get a sequel from them. Like this is now Ninja Theory's game.
Cool.
I think Capcom's gonna give this to them pretty much to kind of just keep it going, because like this is the first one too where critics are actually loving the story, saying the story is actually really good.
Okay.
And it actually makes sense, and and it's the combat has been refined more, you know, and
Right.
so
Yeah, I downloaded the demo today. Have yet to check it out, but will do so.
Yeah,
when I
try
get
it.
home.
It's, like I said, I mean, I don't know. I've also been looking for a good hack and slash game to play. So I'm tired of a bunch of RPGs. Like I told you guys last week, I've been playing a lot of Persona 4. Warner Brothers registered multiple domain names for the new Batman Arkham.
Ah, okay.
And Batman Arkham City fans or Arkham Asylum fans out there, we don't know what this is, but it's got to be the third game. They just registered like there's like 20 of them, but like they have Arkham Universe, Arkham World, like these are all Batman Arkham something.com is what it was. So there's like Batman Arkham Universe, Batman Arkham World, Batman Arkham, Arkham State.
They could branch out too as much as they could do like
Yeah.
Arkham Tales and just do
Yeah.
DLCs
So-
every week.
So no one knows what it was, but they took 20 it's like 20 domain names. This has got to be leading to the third one, which I'm actually disappointed that they're still going with the Arkham. Like I liked Arkham Asylum, I thought that was cool, and then Arkham City I kind of wasn't a big fan of, but then they've been teasing ever since like Arkham World, and it's just like no, why, Arkham was for comics and all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
right,
people
right.
like, it was his own little asylum. Like, that's the whole
Exactly.
point. And then they branched into a city, and I was like, okay, maybe that I can go with that maybe. But now it's like branching out to a city. Like, how is this taking over all of Gotham? Right?
Yeah,
What
they
is
should
going
just call
on?
it
Like,
Batman Gotham Tales
but-
or something.
but then again, this probably comes down to naming, and everyone just knows that Arkham name is related to the other ones.
Well, it's a
and-
cool name.
It is. It's a very cool name. But like I said, I don't know. That's that one. I mean, just a little tidbit and found that on the internet.
That's cool.
You didn't like the second one that
No,
much?
I loved the second one. Arkham City was phenomenal. It was such a great game, but I just didn't like the name Arkham City. Like, I mean, I got the hang of it after a while. I was like, okay, I can go with it. Like how the story was, the mayor extended Arkham from its island out there into the main city to make the city, because he wanted, like, I forgot, like, I think he wanted votes or something, or he was working for the bad guys at the time, but he extended it into the city of Gotham, and it was like, okay, that's stretching it, the whole like Arkham extending, but now it's like they're coming up with Arkham City and Arkham World, and it's like, how much further is he going to bring this into Gotham now before people are like, what the hell,
Arkham
man?
Town.
What would you like to see in this new Batman game?
Oh, I would like to see a Gotham City, but call it Batman, like Gotham, like just like the Dark Knight Gotham or something like that. Like that way we incorporate the city now, because, and then like maybe have like Arkham broken into the main city of Gotham, but call it Gotham City, so that way we know we have the city. Because calling it like Arkham World or Arkham City is implying that now Arkham is extended even further or taken over the Gotham City. When like I'm saying is, where are these people? I know it's comic book, but they're like, where are like the cops? No one going, hey, you're taking over our city here, Arkham. These are the lunatics are expanding, and no one's giving a shit about it. I don't know. Like I said, this is all comics and fictional, but it's I just think they should just go at Batman City, Batman Gotham City or something.
But you know, if they actually go with like Arkham Universe, that might mean it could branch out. Arkham's branching out, possibly even to Superman, to Wonder Woman. You know, like
that would be pretty cool.
They could reach out.
I mean, who knows? Like I said,
Not be cool.
get some of that Justice League in there.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You know, I don't. But I don't think
How do you
Rocksteady
guys
would.
not like the Justice League?
I don't think Rocksteady would do that though. Personally.
Good. Thank you.
What? Justice League is awesome.
I just, I think it would just ruin this whole stuff. Again, this is all theory, and we're thinking, oh, they can branch out and do all this stuff. But say if they were to do the whole Justice League thing, or just any Justice League character, it kind of ruined the whole purpose. Like, the whole purpose of the game is not just straight up go and fight, because you do that and you die, you get shot up. Typically in this game, it's you use a lot of stealth, you use a lot of that. Superman, what are you gonna do? Fly in somewhere and punch him in the face. What are they gonna do to you? Nothing.
Well, they could still be very centralized on Batman. I mean, if you read the comics, even like the major story arcs, like Identity Crisis, like the JLA movie that just came out, like you could probably watch it on Netflix. These are stories where Batman takes front center, because Batman's like this amazing detective, and he always has everything figured out before everyone else. So like Superman can easily play second fiddle to Batman, and we could still see Batman as the head honcho.
But
I think it could work.
But Superman's a bitch.
No, but what
Okay,
I'm
you
saying-
clearly have a problem
No,
with
what I'm
Clark
saying is
Kent.
just that-
I have a big problem.
what I'm saying
I
is
hate
that
Clark Kent.
like
I hate
would you
Superman.
like if you were to be able to play, if you were to make them playable characters,
Oh no.
it wouldn't be right. Like I guess I misunderstood how you guys.
How
were
you
doing
guys
that.
were thinking about.
I was assuming you guys were saying like, oh, they would come in as a playable character of some sort. That's why I said it would ruin the game.
No,
because-
no, yeah.
yeah.
If you make a cameo,
Yeah,
I
it
could-
would- it would
I
be-
could allow it. I
He
could allow it.
would allow. He'd be like all the other characters. He just make a cameo.
Yeah, or maybe there's a battle and he's an AI. And
I would
he's just
be.
fighting with
I think
you,
it'd be pretty sweet if they
No,
introduced.
I don't want him to even fight near me.
No, when you don't want him in the game.
He could share the air that I'm breathing for like 10 seconds before I have to leave.
I would enjoy if they introduced Damian Wayne.
You got a
That'd be pretty cool.
Kryptonophobe over here.
Right? I would be actually excited if they introduced Damian Wayne because Talia.
Yeah,
Spoiler:
dude.
Talia does make reference to that night of Metropolis.
Mhm.
She's like, remember that night? So.
You could even
That
bring
night,
back, Red Hood, Jason Todd
Yeah.
can make an appearance.
I was very disappointed they killed it off so quickly, though.
You know?
Yet again, spoiler: if you guys haven't played Batman: Arkham City yet, get on
I
that.
think
Like,
the spoiler
you
alert
know.
comes before you say that.
Well, if you haven't played Batman: Arkham City yet, then you're
Too bad for you.
you're
Too bad for you.
you're not missing anything by now. All right, and then we got it was a big week for video games in the government. If you guys care,
Yeah.
bunch of head guys from big companies met with Joe Biden last week.
Uh-huh.
You guys hear about that? the
This
whole
is
thread?
actually one of the reasons why this week's Poison Mushroom is going to be what it is.
Ooh, exciting! We look forward to that one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just find that curious. It's interesting. I don't know. I hate how we're the gaming industry still kind of is young compared to movies and all that.
Exactly.
So it's tough to defend it because I think it's stupid. And I think that honestly people needed to take responsibility. Like with the guy who did the whole Sandy Hook shooting.
Yeah.
The guy was disturbed and they knew that. Like
Exactly.
he had guns. The mom taught him how to shoot when he was younger. Like they're not denying it, but at the same time they've yet to confirm if he was playing Call of Duty or Halo in his house. But yet that's what they're going to is that they're saying it's these violent video games
Exactly.
that drove him to it.
Exactly.
And I don't think anything's going to happen to the game industry per se. This,
no.
they brought it up so much. I mean, we have the ESRB in place to rate these. And honestly, I don't think anything's going to change until we have someone from our generation go to the White House.
Exactly.
And they finally realize, no, like I grew up on Call of Duty. Like this is something else. But until then, I just found it interesting to talk about it, see what you guys thought. Like, they all just met with Joe Biden to come up with an issue and a solution. And I think Joe Biden just said, "Make your image better," was what he released to the public.
Yeah. As far as gun control, here's how I look at it. I think everyone should be allowed to have a gun, a handgun, maybe something you can hide, something like that. But an assault rifle.
That's
not necessary.
Yeah.
Why do you need something that shoots that fast?
I kind of agree with that. I kind of actually am for that. I hope that they get the assault rifle ban.
Yeah.
But the disbanding all weapons in general, like you said, like that was back in the day when they only had that was the amendment was made way back when they only had shotguns and handguns,
Exactly.
like where they had
pistols
to pour,
that took 18 minutes to reload.
Yeah, to pour the fucking lead in there, the gunpowder and all that, and then they put the bullet in and then light it. Like that was when they made the law. They didn't assume that we were going to go be buying fully automatic machine guns now. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But that was in the news, so I thought we had to take it.
Well, I mean, as far as this is a big issue just in general, not just video games.
We could go on about this
for
days.
could go on about this for a long time, but I think it's just the reason why it's going to video games because it's really easy to just blame. Like it's just a blame game. It's a lot easier to blame Call of Duty now than it is, I don't know, just try to fight the NRA and expect them to say, oh yeah, it's our fault. We'll try to do something about it. It's a lot easier. People are always looking for something to blame when things like these happen.
Exactly.
And it was just the easiest scapegoat were the violent video games, and it's dumb. We can see how it's dumb. To people that are just like us, we play them. We're fine. We're as fine as normal as we can.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we know that it doesn't do that to you, and Travis made a good point about it's not till somebody from our generation goes up there and says no, it's not how it happens, and it's silly, but you gotta I guess you gotta tough it out.
Like the way I look at it is okay, and most people will probably disagree with me, is that video games can affect you to the point of becoming violent, but that sort of thing is already like dormant in you. It takes, for example, if I just played a video game, it doesn't make me violent, watching all this gore and killing. But if someone who's already a little like, mentally disturbed or someone that's like that, sure, if they see that, then yeah, maybe it can, I don't know what the word is, it could encourage them, they'll be like, oh, I could take it to this level. But once again, that's like very few, and I mean, look how these incidents that happen are horrible, these innocent children getting killed. But when you think about it, it's only like or 3 a year. And I know it sounds horrible. It sounds like that, but 2 or 3 a year. Think of how many people there are in the world, you know. But there's only these select things that happen, and just putting a tighter ban on these things isn't gonna reduce it. Like, yeah. These people, if they want to do it, they're gonna do it, you know, no matter what.
I agree. One thing that I always kind of want to bring up when things like that happen is just that, you know, then if video games are the problem, then what was the problem before video games came out and people were doing the same thing?
Point.
It's like, I don't understand.
It was music. It was death metal.
It was death metal.
Yeah.
It was rockabilly when it first came out. These kids are such juveniles. This rockabilly is the devil's music.
Yeah.
It's always something to blame that, you know, just again, some people are looking for a scapegoat, and this
it's
time
never the parents though. Huh?
Oh, never.
See, you guys both made a good point, Junior, with your like you said that they're just looking for a scapegoat. That is very true. And then Pedro, like you're saying, this only happens twice out of a year, maybe even if that, because that's very true. Because you look at it, like Grand Theft Auto is usually the biggest one to blame, where you are the criminal usually in the game. And you have, like, I don't know, that game. This was a good quote from someone from another podcast I heard, where they were like, the game sells 25+ million copies. So if you're gonna blame one person for playing Grand Theft Auto, that that's you still got the other 24,999,900
exactly.
people that are okay.
Yeah.
Even then, there's like probably younger kids playing that game when they shouldn't be.
That's less than 1%.
Exactly, that's less than 1%. So to have the government, I think, come in and be like, hey, you guys need to fix your games, is like, no, we're not responsible. We're not to blame. If someone's gonna go out and become crazy or something like that, that's not our fault. They could be like that. We sold 24 million copies. We can't be responsible for one guy.
Exactly.
That's like going on a rampage. Like that comes up to the parents if this is a child, or this comes up to friends or people that are the disturbed person that need to look at this. Like, because if this is how this is, this is just dumb.
I know.
But that's how it
it's
goes.
frustrating, and that's why, like, I would love to, like, bring in someone, that's on the opposite side of the spectrum, because obviously us and most of the people listening to this are going to agree with us, like, we play video games, we know, we watch an image, a static image, and it doesn't affect us. We're just like, it's imaginary. But I wish I knew someone that was on the total opposite end. I wish I could bring in Joe Biden. Anyone know his number?
Right. It's tough. It's just the hardest thing is I mean, like, a lot of these guys in the White House and all them politicians, they've never played video games, probably outside of it, maybe Atari when they were younger. So for them to, I mean, like, that, they have a lot of admitted. I think even, like, Obama's admitted he doesn't play video games. He just I think he bought the Wii. It was a big deal when he bought the Wii for his girls for Christmas. But yet again, it comes down to, they don't really know, like, what it is. And I think what sucks the most is they don't really care about movies, I want to say, is because the movies are kind of government regulated with the MPAA now. So, but they don't have their fingers in video games. And I like that for the time being. I hope that never happens, honestly. I just say for the time being, but I mean, like, I hope it never happens, because the government should not be involved in that. I don't think the government should be involved in much of anything, but so they aren't, and I think that's why they also go to it, is because they don't know what we play and do, and they don't understand it. Even though we very much pitch it, hey, we have rated M games, which is like our movies, but yet it comes on just the parent, like our movies. They have to realize that these are like our movies. These are for older people, and but then again, you just see it more and more with generations. Like, I went and saw The Man with the Iron Fists when that was in theaters.
Okay.
And there was a dude in there who brought his baby in there. Like, so we're like watching this movie, and here he's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. And this dude, you hear the baby start crying, and he's sitting there, and he's like trying to make the baby become quiet. It's like, dude, get the baby out of the theater. And I think and I heard another story too. One of my buddies saw Django Unchained, and there was a dude in there with the baby, and the baby started crying halfway through the film. And then finally, I guess he said, someone in the theater just yells, "Take your fucking baby out right now!" Just yells it through the theater, and you finally see the dude get up and walk out with his child. Like, what are you doing? The movie is R. Even though your child is young, why are you taking him to this hardcore R, somewhat slurring racist with names? Not to say the movie's racist, but what it's talking about, slavery and all that, and blood, guts, language, that just comes on to parents too. But yet again, like Junior mentioned, people are just looking for a scapegoat, so that if their child becomes disturbed in some way, then they're like, no, that couldn't be my fault. It couldn't have been me buying them Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, or it was something else. But
yeah, that's kind of funny. It's like, I bet you they'd have no problem if their kids were playing outside, shooting each other. If their kids were outside playing, hey, I'm shooting you, okay, they'd have a problem. if do the same thing, but they say, hey, I'm George Washington, I'm shooting you. Bet you the parents wouldn't have a problem. Same exact thing. But like, oh, my kid is going to be a president someday. You see who he looks up to? It's George Washington. It's not some random guy in Call of Duty. It's the president. So killing people is okay. You're okay, kid.
We should just be thankful that the people that lobby against these games and stuff have like no charisma and seem so evil that that no one pays attention. Like Jack Thompson, you guys remember him,
that,
right?
Dude. That was
like that guy just looks like evil incarnate. Like and no one cares about him, which is so good. Because if we had someone like Mr. Rogers still around, oh my God, games would have been gone a long time ago. Because everyone loves that guy.
Well, we'll move on to the final thing. Since like we said, this one can go on all day. Final news item I have is the Wii U is selling 43% behind the Wii and 50% behind GameCube sales about this time for when it launched. So it had a strong debut, but it seems to be slowly fading now. I think the big thing is there's probably no software because they haven't released numbers for any other software except for Mario Wii U, which has sold like over 500,000. But they haven't released numbers on any other title. But also, I just don't know if people are really ready for that generation. That and like I probably talked about this on the podcast, but people don't really know what the Wii U is.
Yeah.
Like I remember I think I told you with my girlfriend when we were in a store.
And she didn't know.
And she's like, "What?" She's like, "You want to get the Wii U?" And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, isn't it just the controller attachment to the Wii?" And I'm like, "No, it's a whole new console." And she's like, "Really?" And she's like, "I thought it was just like an iPad. That's why it costs $300. You're just buying a controller." It's like, no. It's like a whole brand new console, like updated better than that. Like they say better than Xbox and PS3 right now. And she just didn't even know that. She's like, "Oh." She's like, "Well, that's kind of dumb. I didn't." She thought it was just the screen.
Yeah, it's definitely like the software and.
Yeah, I can't find anything new that has came out ever since the Wii U launched. Like I see all the games that are out, and honestly, I don't think they've released anything new.
I don't think so either. No.
Yeah, it sucks because like I think among this, like I'm probably the biggest Nintendo fan out of everyone here. Like no, I'm sorry, I have to take that title from you. And and I don't even keep up to date with it. Like when the Wii came out, it's like every day I would go on like a news site or something and check like what game's coming out, what's this coming out, what's this news. And as far as the Wii U so far, I couldn't care less. Like I'm just like, wake me when Pikmin 3 comes out. But other than that, I'm just like, I don't really care. And that's a shame because I love Nintendo so much.
Well, I think people
Really
just
not.
got tired of well, again, George said
Don't
about
say
that,
Mario.
People got tired of Mario. No, not Mario, but I'm gonna buy this new control so I can put blocks on the screen. That's all I can do with it, and that's what they got bored of. They want to see. They need something to come out where it's like, okay, let's really utilize this Wii U remote because blocks on the screen is not cutting it. Because right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not gonna buy this whole thing and just do little blocks on the screen. It's little pitter patter here and there. I want something I can really use this new console for, and that's what I need.
Well, I think the biggest thing that they did. Is someone at the door? I can let them in. Talk about that for a second. I think the biggest thing that they had was I think one of the biggest things is that is the fact that no one really wants that software. Like they have Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Why would I want to go buy a new console when I have my 360 or PS3? Yeah. Batman Arkham City. That game came out a year ago. Mass Effect 3. The game came out a year ago.
I didn't even know that was on there.
Like they're coming out these games that have already been released on other consoles. So when they're trying to appeal to like the hardcore gamers, as they say, all the hardcore gamers already have a 360 and PS3. So the only people that would go buy this would be Nintendo fanboys like you, Pedro, and even you don't even care.
Even have one.
So what's that saying? Is it saying that people really don't care to purchase those consoles for anything outside of Zelda or Mario? And and I think that's where Nintendo's just that ship has sailed. Like people just don't want to play those games. Like Call of Duty will forever be played on Xbox 360.
Or
Like
PS3.
or PS3, but even then, like Xbox has got the exclusive, like the time DLC for that, where they get like a month and a half before.
Not just that, but correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but the Black Ops for the Wii U does not have headset support.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have headset support. And I remember there was a Twitter photo from one of the people I was following online. He bought a Wii U, and it was like within a week after the Wii U launched, he was showing the people online because I guess it shows the numbers on Blops too. How many are online? I think it's at 43 worldwide on the Wii U network for Blops too. He was like, "Yep," and he took a photo of that. And he's like, "That 43 people online on the Wii U a week after it comes out. This is worldwide.
And 80% are hacking.
Yeah, and it was just like the whole, they shows the globe, and like the whole globe was just like unlit because there was just no one playing except for like you'd see like lights.
Shame, man.
I think that this is something that Nintendo has to open their eyes to, is that definitely that they're, as far as third party goes,
They
have to stick to exclusive like Wii U titles
Mhm.
for like third parties, because like porting a game from from like that came out in 360 PS3, it's doesn't, history shows the Wii, like, every time we look at the scores for a Call of Duty game that came out
you can actually compare
for all
those?
of them,
Yeah.
it was just like we only cared for the one that PS3 and 360 before it.
I didn't.
Anytime we see the score
Yeah.
for the one that came out on the Wii, we all knew it was gonna be like.
I don't even think a lot of websites didn't even review the Wii versions of those games, did they? I don't like. I think
Good amount.
IGN did review the World at War one because I actually bought the Wii one,
Okay.
and I actually, to be honest with you, this is it. Everyone's gonna hate me, and everyone's gonna be like liar. But I honestly liked it a lot better on the Wii because of the motion controls. But even the online was like. There was almost nobody online.
Yeah,
like
it's tough.
and they cut some stuff off of the online, and there was no zombies.
Yeah.
Either.
Well,
That was the worst
I don't know
part.
if that's because the Wii just can't handle that, or if it's because
That was it. Yeah,
no
it definitely
room on
was
the
because it
disc. I
couldn't
don't know.
handle it.
But it's just tough to think. Like I mean, my biggest argument really is. So I'm just gonna say it straight out here. The Wii sold because you had everyone and their grandmas buying that damn thing, and I think I've said that before to you guys at least. Like my parents bought it. They didn't buy anything. They bought me those stuff, and they bought a Wii, and everyone bought the Wii, and that's why Nintendo boasted those huge sales. Now they have the Wii U. Well, my parents and my grandma are now over that, and they're like, I don't really care to get this. I already bought one. Why do I need another one? So now you just lost all those sales. And then not only that, but then you have the people that are like, oh, they're like, we got Call of Duty now. Everyone's like, well, all my friends are on Xbox Live. I'm going to go buy the next Xbox because they're probably going to go buy that next Xbox. So
They have to. Their
the-
software has to stick to what.
Yeah. They have to get. I mean, it sucks that that's what they rely on, because this is why I hate Nintendo still. Because like this is me personally. I'm tired of Mario and Zelda, but that's what sells for them, and they need to make sure that the next generation of those is what pushes those consoles. Because if not, I really think that they're gonna fall behind to probably third place, which Sony has been holding for so many years now with the console wars. That because they just can't. Actually, a side note, I think Sony finally passed Microsoft too in worldwide, didn't they?
In worldwide sales, yeah. But I think regardless, mostly it's because they had that Blu-ray player. They had a lot of media stuff that Xbox, Xbox stuck with HD DVDs.
Oh,
Look where that ended up. You know what I mean?
All right, well that's probably the next conversation if you guys want to talk about that. But yeah, but still on the Wii U, it's just. I mean, I don't know. Nintendo's gotta come up with something, because I just think once the next Xbox and PS4 or whatever it's gonna be called launched, it's gonna be tough sales for them, because I think everyone's gonna jump to those ones because all the kids are gonna want it, and then parents will probably want it too, because at that point it's becoming such a big media center that there's the rumor that the next Xbox will be a DVR system as well on top of the Hulu, Netflix, and then now it's rumored the next Xbox will be a Blu-ray player. So now that you have that in the next one, there's just so much stuff going into the consoles. Like they're not just gaming consoles that. Oh, we have a new guest. If he would like to join, we'd like to welcome Nasser.
We got Nasser coming in, the Nasser disaster, as I like to call him.
He'll probably be in future episodes. What were you saying? He just joined us. You can talk, you guys.
Say hello, Nasser.
I was just might chime in the Wii U. I completely agree with what you're saying. The only thing I'm looking forward to in the Wii U is Monster Hunter, because the one for the Wii was actually really fun, especially playing with Pedro and Dwayne.
Oh, that's so good.
But if by some miracle that came out on PS3 or 360, I would never buy a Wii.
Yeah.
And that one actually surprised me, Monster Hunter. That always surprises me that hasn't come out on PS3, because they released it on the PSP, and at least in Japan, that sold PSP as alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like keeping Sony's PSP afloat over there.
They came out in PS3, but only in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, it did come out on PS3.
Yeah, as well as
In
PC.
As
in
real as
Japan.
PC. Okay, maybe I didn't know that. I thought it was
They
only.
have a MMO for it.
In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah, well, I know it's huge in Japan. That's why I know they don't release much. But in America, they've been releasing it. Like they have the new big one on 3DS, and then they released the one on the Wii.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I was like, why are you releasing it on the Wii? Like no one in America has that. Port that over to the 360 or something.
Well, everybody. I mean, A lot of people had the Wii.
Well, a lot of
Just
people had the
talked
Wii. I get why they were doing it, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, no one had it. That's why I was so disappointed when they announced Epic Mickey as a Wii exclusive. Like, if they announced that for the PS3 and Xbox originally, like it was supposed to be, if Warren Spector didn't get such a big head and be like, no, if I'm doing a Wii version, because that's what it was. He said in an interview, he's like, Disney told him he had to do a Wii version because so many people have those consoles, and he's like, if I'm doing a Wii version, I'm only doing a Wii version because it has to be specific for the motion controls and not doing a crappy port. So that's why they
Did he
scrapped.
give in to
Yeah.
the second one?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something?
Well, yeah. I'm sure Disney finally like, Warren, you spent us a lot of money, you son of a bitch.
Who was that?
That's Disney.
Walt Disney's ghost?
That's
You're a son of a bitch. You better get them numbers up.
that's Bob Iger. Or
Bob
Iger.
Iger, yeah.
Because I know you guys have to watch a video on them.
Yes,
Bob
we do.
Iger.
Mm-hmm.
I call him Bob Iger to make.
You're Bob Iger. And I like money.
You know, it pisses my girlfriend off every time I tell her like, listen to Bob Iger, and she goes, "It's not Iger, it's Iger." Well,
That's
once I
awesome.
meet him and he gives me some of his millions, I'll call him Eager then.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll kind of see how what happens with it. But I just think it's gonna go under once the next Xbox and PS4 or whatever they're gonna call it come out, because it's, all of us hardcore gamers that they're trying to appeal to want the next big thing, and a lot of them are on Xbox in America, and then in Europe it's all PS3s over there. I mean, it's, maybe interesting to see. So.
Cool.
That's it for the news. That's all. That's all I got for you guys today.
Cool. So we have a new segment, and it's This Week in Video Game History. This Week in Video Game History with your host, Peter Green. We got headlines from the top bigwigs in the United States of America. January 13, 1984. Things continue to get rough for Atari as Warner sells them off after their profits from 1983 to 84 plummet a further 100 million. This action played a significant role in the mid-80s video game crash. Wow, they were the real cat pajamas, weren't they, fellas? January 14, 1987. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link is released in Japan. And we all know how that one went, folks. January 15, 1999, WCW and NWO Thunder for the PlayStation system is released, garnering very bad reviews. Possibly the worst game in history, folks. January 17, 2005, Electronic Arts and ESPN announced a 15-year partnership that would give EA access to ESPN's broadcast, print, and online content. And we'll bring you back a little bit to 2001, January 19, where Sonic Adventure 2 for the Dreamcast is released. I've been Peter Green, and those are your this week's video game history. Thank you.
That was impressive. That was impressive. Man,
So yeah, anything specifically? What did you guys ever think about Sonic Adventure 2? 'Cause I love that game.
I love that game. It blew my mind that it got such bad reviews, because I remember when it came out, and my friend who had a GameCube, because I didn't own one at the time, he bought it, and it was like, that was the one that we connected the Game Boy Advance one, right?
Yeah, with
And you
the
could get
chibis, the little cow. Yeah, that's what they're
the
called.
chows in there, and you had the Chow Garden, and so man, my friend
So addictive.
Yeah, so addicted. And you could play like Shadow, Knuckles. I mean, I thought the flying segments as like Rogue and Knuckles when you kind of hover. Those are
Now,
kind of
Sonic Adventure 2 is the one. That's the. Was that the?
That's
racing
what.
one?
No.
Which
That's the
one
one
was
with
that one?
Shadow with what's Knuckles? What's the bat one called? The girl bat one?
cat, kitty cat.
It's the one where you could play as multiple characters, and
yeah.
all the stories intertwine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
But then I looked up the reviews, and it got terrible reviews.
Mhm.
It was like 4s, 5s.
Which was the one that? We're talking GameCube, right?
Yeah, GameCube.
Yes, and also came out on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And, it
No,
also came out-
okay. Here's the thing. Sonic Adventure 2 was Dreamcast.
Yeah.
You guys are thinking of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh, yeah,
which came out on the GameCube.
that's the one I'm
which was the
thinking of.
same game with all the few more extra
That's
options.
the one
But
I'm
it
thinking
did
of.
also. But the original one also had the show
Yeah.
garden.
Yeah, because no one bought it on the freaking Dreamcast. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think
Well,
went out-
it was about the end of its
Yeah,
life
it was at
cycle.
the end of its life. But yeah, no, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. That game was sweet.
That game was sweet.
I'm a little biased on these Dreamcast games because I didn't buy a Dreamcast game that I didn't like. I think I just liked the Dreamcast. I was just all up on that Dreamcast, and then when it died, I think part of me died. I think part of myself too. I didn't buy it. It was, I didn't buy it. It was keeping me alive. That's what it was doing. Then I died along with it. So
Mhm.
rest in peace, Dreamcast.
Rest in peace.
Well,
that's go-
the Dreamcast. I never bought one of those either because I didn't have money. My mom was buying them.
You never
I played it at my friend's house, and then after it came out, that was a system that really was way too advanced for its time. It had internet play. which no
Oh,
one else was
dude,
doing.
yeah.
The whole like putting memory card into the thing, man. That thing did a lot of like cool stuff, but Sony just destroyed the market with the PlayStation
I wish
2.
Dwayne was here. He could go on for hours.
Dreamcast?
He
Oh.
has like 20 of those memory cards with batteries still in them, where you could still play the little games.
Those
and
are,
stuff.
those
like-
things are sweet. Those things are
I think
sweet.
the only time I played well, back then when it was still alive, I guess. The only time
Still alive.
Yeah,
It's
alive.
alive.
Yeah, the only time I played it was actually at Junior's house because he had it, and I think I was playing like House of the Dead. I was playing
House of the Dead and Power Stone. We were playing on that Power Stone. Ooh.
Power Stone. I remember the which one is the Sonic the one where the whale comes out. What was that one? The DS.
That's the first one.
That's the first
that's
one.
Yeah,
first one.
running around at the speed of sound.
Yeah.
Or was that the second one? I don't remember.
I
They were
thought that
both
was
awesome
dope.
games, though.
That
That
was
was awesome.
dope. But yeah, I never got one
And-
myself.
And the controller layout was perfect, and it's not, Microsoft, you kind of ripped them off a bit. That's pretty much the same thing which you did with the Xbox 360 controller. Only difference is you can't put them
don't you mean the first?
the
first
Dreamcast.
one? But the first Xbox, no?
Yeah.
Or the,
well,
you
yeah,
s-
the first one.
Oh, you said 360.
Oh.
Boo.
I made a,
Boo.
and I was like, whatever
I was
the
like,
point is,
what?
I was
What?
like, oh, you guys kind of messed it up there. I was like, oh, I see what you guys did. You guys trying to replace my Dreamcast, trying to replace my Dreamcast controller. I see what you guys are doing.
I hated that
Yeah.
controller though. It's terrible.
The Dreamcast controller?
No, the first Xbox.
Oh, the
Yeah.
fat.
That was too big.
It
The
was
couch?
Stupid.
Well, the first Xbox was ridiculous. That thing weighed a fucking ton. Like, compared to like the PlayStation or the GameCube at the time, like the Xbox, that thing was massive.
The only problem I had were the two little buttons, the green, the
Black and
black and
white?
white.
The
I was
black
like,
and
who
white.
can?
Yeah, it was.
You
It was.
You have to move your whole hand.
Yeah.
Press one button.
Yeah, you had to move your whole hand for that damn thing. But the Legend of Zelda one, that's actually went to that release too.
Now,
that
I'm a big
atrocity.
Zelda fan, and
That
although
atrocity.
that's an okay game, but it's not a Zelda game.
Was that done by
It's like a
Nintendo?
Yes, it was done by Nintendo. It's like a Castlevania game
Which one?
almost. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. That's
The
the one that was a
Adventure of
side scroller. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Adventure Time game that just came out. You know, it was an okay game, but it was just it was so weird. And luckily, you know what? If I played it when I was a kid, I would have probably really enjoyed it. But I honestly, and this is weird considering I'm such a big Zelda fan, but I honestly didn't play that until it came out as a bundle with when you pre-ordered Wind Waker.
Oh, okay.
It came in a GameCube disc of all
Nice.
the Zelda games, and then I played and passed it, and I was just like, "That's it."
Yeah.
That was lame.
Yeah, it was different. I want to say, I remember reading an article about that game about the reason why they made it like that because they were going off the success of a lot of the other stuff. Like Mario was doing good in that 2D landscape
Yeah.
thing, and so they wanted to mix it up. What was the other stuff?
And then we also have January 13, 1984. Atari is sold by Warner
Oh,
because
yeah,
that was about the
Yeah.
impending video game crash.
That
Now-
was so smart, man. Atari, they've been nothing but they've been like a disease. I know that's sad to say because they created so much stuff, but like when was the last time Atari put out something good? Honestly, they just they just haven't. They just
Dragon Ball Z games.
Those have all
are
been-
pretty
The old ones
fun.
were good.
The
Like
old-
Budokais.
Budokais,
Budokais.
yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
good.
the Budokai Tenkaichi.
I like
3.
Tenkaichi ones too.
Except the last like 2 or 3, those are
Yeah.
I love loved
I played Budokai.
Tenkaichi 3.
Yeah,
The one on.
Tenkaichi's good, but then they have like Ultimate.
Oh, I
Ultimate
don't know if those are
Tenkaichi
right.
and things like that, where it's like they make the whole battle system
Mhm.
rock paper scissors.
Mm.
It's basically like you guys
They
fight
just dumb it down.
until
Yeah.
one person like gets a launching combo, and then you chase after him, and if you guess the right button, you hit him and you counterattack. But let's say George presses square and I press circle, I continue my attack, and it keeps on going until I lose.
That's that's
Yeah,
weird.
that's really dumbed down.
I just one thing I remembered was that in Tenkaichi 3 at least, if you just chose like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like, you just destroyed anyone. You had you had way
Yeah.
too much health.
Yeah.
You had way too much
The only
power.
one I could fight one was like Super Saiyan Vegito.
Yeah, is that it?
Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, it was one of those one of the high Super Saiyans that it was just it was no fun because then everyone would want to choose that one whenever I would play them or go online with that game with the crappy Wii Online that it was. And everyone would choose Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and I'd like try and mess around like, oh, I'm gonna choose my like Goku, my kid Goku, and I would have
Yeah.
no health, and they would just
Yeah.
freaking rock me. And
Isn't it kind of strange though that at one point there was a video game crash where no one cared about video games? Like everyone
that
just
was-
forgot about it.
Yeah, because that was when they were. spamming
And then
the
my
market.
boy Nintendo made people care about video games again. But isn't it? I just think it's so strange that at some point people were just like, oh, remember video games? Those are kind of cool. But they just went on with their lives.
That's scary as
Yeah.
fuck.
That's in a world like I mean I don't know that's
terrifying.
it's interesting it's interesting to think about, but that's also in a world when no one really had games yet. Like everyone was still playing.
And there
ball
were
in a
so
cup.
many systems.
So many systems.
Ball in a cup.
Like
Let's play. Watch paint dry. Come on, guys. Like,
that's that was because that was also when they cranked out the ET games and they put them in the landfill somewhere.
well,
wasn't
that
it?
was the main factor of the video game
They
crash.
just
ET,
released
it
so
was so
much.
terrible, and they made so many copies.
Yeah.
I think I played. I found like a computer version of it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And
Are you
I
okay?
think it was Burnley that got me to play it. That was horrible. It made no sense whatsoever.
I think that was the thing is just no one understood it. Like you just had a point that was a counter that was counting down, and if you fall into a pit, you got stuck there and you had to like somehow get out.
Well, if I remember correctly, they made it in a month because Steven Spielberg wanted to churn it out as soon as possible to coincide with the movie release.
Oh really?
Yeah, so that was one of the main reasons. Like, it's so
up.
terrible, and like you could fall through the map, and there was unfinished levels,
That's
and
crazy.
everything
There's
looked so
levels?
terrible. Yeah, there's like, well, what it was basically, I don't know if you guys, I've actually played this game too. I played it at
I
my
only
friend
see videos.
Joseph's
Are
house.
you okay?
It's so I'm not. That's why I'm so mad. That's why I'll periodically punch a baby. You know, like.
All violent video games.
Violent video.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, ET. That's where it started. It's not Call
Like
of Duty.
basically, it's a big area. Just think of it as an adventure game. That's making fun of adventure games. Basically, it's a big world, and you're ET, and you're going around, and you're finding Elliot's pieces to build the phone to phone home. And while you're going around, there's this black sort of brownish blur that follows you around, and he's supposed to represent one of the cops, and he's following you. If he touches you, you lose. So basically, the main game is you're wandering around, and it's a world that apparently a crater hit it because there's just holes, millions of holes everywhere, and basically you just fall through these random holes. If there's something in there, then good, you progress. If there's nothing in there, it takes ET like 20 seconds to climb out of it. So you stretch your neck and you get out, and you go look for another hole to fall in. If there's something in there, then good. If not, and basically you combine all the pieces, you phone home, and then the end screen is literally, it's just ET's head, and it says the end.
How can you make it to the end?
I don't know, like I played it at my friend Joseph's house, and we were just playing it while watching a YouTube walkthrough. We're like, we just want to see the end of this thing. We want to see how terrible it is, and it's so bad, guys. Like, and I know, like, back in the day you had to use your imagination, but even this pixel interpretation of ET is bad. It's bad. I don't know, like.
And I can't believe Spielberg did that because he's so active in or tries to be active in the game universe now.
Well, now with like blocks, what was that called?
I don't know what he did. I just know that his big one was that he
Boom Blocks. Boom Blocks.
Was that it?
Yeah, he made that game.
Well,
Yeah.
his company did because he has a game company, doesn't he? Or does he?
He might. You know what? Yeah,
I
he
remember.
might.
I remember he was working with EA where he was trying to do a game like it was about aliens, of course, because he loves aliens. It was like you were guarding an alien that came to Earth, and it was a first-person shooter.
E.T.
No, yeah, ET.
No,
No,
E.T.
It was they released the tech demo that
ET2.
canceled. It was supposed to be a very deep game, similar to like something of a BioShock nature, where you're supposed to have emotional attachment. It was supposed to be very
Really?
engaging. Like, so the tech demo shows you arriving at like this kind of diner in the middle of nowhere, and you're with the alien. The alien's got a hood on. Of course, it looks like an alien. And as you're sitting there, you like can interact with stuff on the table and try and get this alien to play with it and learn. It's kind of like what some games should have been. People know what I'm talking about. And you're trying to get the the alien to learn and experience this, and then also midway through it, as the player's kind of interacting with the alien, like the FBI will come in and zoom in, and then all of a sudden you'll take out a gun as they're blowing out the windows. He like jumps over, and it kind of has one of those like Resident Evil 6 moments where you can dive now.
Okay,
so
okay.
he dives out and he's on his back and you're crawling backwards.
Interesting.
You're kind of shooting, looking out the window as the FBI is running out. It was just a minor tech demo they released to show what they were working on.
Okay.
But EA canceled it because EA just, I guess, they never released a statement why, but they canceled it.
That's strange.
Yeah,
I know he also oversaw, like, in Portal 2, there's a trailer for Super 8, which where like it's like a prologue.
Oh, that in-game, that was pretty sweet. That was when you, like, walked
he
through the
oversaw
crates.
that as
The
well.
crates, the crash, right?
Yeah, and that was cool. So yeah, so maybe he should stick to games, but
I mean, he has a creative idea. I think, you know, it's Spielberg. He has tons of ideas for it, and it'll be interesting to see what he does. But I guess it more or less just comes down to getting that idea that someone wants to fund, really, because games are different. Like landscape. You know, you have to like people have to play that. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
just watch this amazing story.
Yeah.
You have to play this story. So I mean, maybe his ideas are just too much for people to kind of wrap their
I don't
heads
know.
around at the time. I mean,
maybe I don't know.
I think if maybe
I
the
don't know
Last
the
of
guy.
Us, Last of Us survives, because from what I've heard, that's just kind of like an interactive storybook at this
Mhm.
point. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But wasn't there like, what'd you say about the worst PlayStation game ever? Or something like that?
No, it was not the worst PlayStation game ever, but it's what many consider, at least according to what I read, one of the worst wrestling games ever. WCW and New World Order Thunder for the PlayStation.
Oh my God,
I
never
I
played that.
personally
That
never
sounds
played it.
terrible.
I'm looking at George and he's like making a stink face.
No, the ones that I played were on the 64. So I thought you were
The
talking about the
64
64
one?
one.
Oh no.
64
Oh,
was
you know,
tight.
well,
Yeah.
it was also on the N64. It was ported later, right?
Which one?
Versus NW, or was that
No,
just
that was a different
WCW?
one.
Okay.
That was a different. No,
Alright.
it was versus that NWO, but it wasn't that one.
Okay. Yeah. This one.
That one was great. Though I never knew one came out on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because, you know, WWF.
This one has like a
dominated
Metacritic score
PlayStation.
of like 41 or something. I don't know. It's like a really low score, something like that.
Oh, pff. Well,
And Rise War.
yeah.
That just reminded me of like the old PlayStation 1 game, Rise War. That game was pretty
I
tight.
played that too.
It's good. It's back when wrestling games were fun.
Back in wrestling games are fun.
All right.
Yeah,
Ah.
you're right. 'Cause
Well,
they haven't been fun in a
well,
long
Last,
time.
Like 10. No, okay, not 10. Like last 5, 6 versions of a WWE game. It's just terrible.
Yeah,
The last one that I actually played was Here Comes the Pain.
Oh yeah, no, so you're in a good era.
Isn't
No,
that
that's the last time I played.
SmackDown? Here comes
Yeah,
the pain or something.
SmackDown,
That
Here
was a
Comes
cool
the
game.
Pain. And I think just the first SmackDown
SmackDown,
versus
Bring It
Raw,
On.
and then that's it.
Yeah, Bring It On. What is it? Shut Your Mouth.
Shut your
Mm.
Those are good.
Dang, you guys are
Yeah, man.
wrestling
There's a lot of
aficionados.
wrestling games.
Wrestling
Hell
was
yeah,
good.
there was the shit.
They messed up. When they were, like after what was it? SmackDown versus Raw. The first one was good.
The first one was good.
Afterwards, when they kept on doing it
Yes. They're just
yearly,
milking the shit
yeah, they
out of
milked
that
it
game.
and they try to make it realistic.
Mm.
Like the fun thing about the old wrestling games is like you could climb up and throw someone, do ridiculous stunts, but then
No
they make
Mercy was my favorite
No Mercy,
on
No
64.
Mercy. Yeah.
was my favorite.
But then it's like they made it realistic, so like you have to grapple and set up like for a suplex, and it's too much work for
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, I think we should wrap this up with our weekly poison mushroom.
Poison
skits.
mushroom.
We've been going for quite a while. I think.
Yeah, we've been going for I can actually check how much time now.
Oh, yeah.
57 minutes and 40 seconds.
Nice. Got some good.
All right, yeah,
good
let's
chunks there.
let's finish it off with
Wrap
poison
this up,
mushroom.
guys.
Here we go.
And now it's time to play everyone's favorite game, Poison Mushroom, with your host, Pedro Constantinopoulos.
That's me.
Oh, mamma mia.
All right, guys. This week's poison mushroom ties up pretty well with what we were talking about earlier, with the violent games and stuff. These are all incidents where people died, and they're based on something related to gaming, whether it was watching a video game or they just happened at where video games were sort of the catalyst to these deaths. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a South Korean man who died after reportedly playing an online computer game for 50 hours, StarCraft. He had not slept properly, ate very little, said the police, and basically, yeah, he just died because of exhaustion and all that sort of stuff. These are not as detailed as last week's,
Yeah.
but go ahead and ask me as many things as you want.
Okay.
Another one is a family sued over a Grand Theft Auto 3 inspired shooting. 2 teenage boys. They killed 2. I'm sorry. Let me read this. Okay, 2 teenage boys fired upon 3 people, a girl and her 2 stepbrothers in Newport, Tennessee. Basically, they bought a bunch of ammo and stuff, and they even shot them at Interstate 40, just like in Grand Theft Auto 3, apparently. But yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, these are a little harder than last week's.
That's fine.
Okay, we have up next. 16-year-old South Carolina boy lured his neighbor's 68-year-old grandfather into a secluded alley, then beat him with a brick so he could steal his gold
Jeez.
watch and wallet. He needed the money to pay for his online gaming addiction of RuneScape. Okay, and the 60-year-old man actually survived the initial attack, but he died 4 days later in the hospital, brain injuries.
From RuneScape?
RuneScape, yeah.
That is ridiculous. That's a free game.
Up next, we have a Florida mom who pleads guilty for murdering her baby for crying during a Farmville game. Basically, she was playing Farmville, and her baby wouldn't stop crying, and she got mad, and she shook the baby until he died. Terrible, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, these are all terrible. I'm sorry.
Are you trying to make us depressed here? We're just trying to say how video games are not the catalyst of things, and we're just saying video games are evil.
But like I said, these are just... Here's the thing. It was actually very hard to find these incidents, which kind of proves that it doesn't happen all the time. Okay.
You're scaring me. When I get scared, I might kill somebody. Since
Then we have an Ohio teenager who killed his mother over a Halo 3 game. His parents... grounded him, and when they got home, he told his dad, he blindfolded his dad, and he said, here, let me just read it for you. On the night of the murder, the Ohio teenager used his father's key to open a box and remove the game of Halo 3 that they hid from him, plus a 9mm handgun. The boy went into a room and said to his parents, "Would you close your eyes? I have a surprise for you." And then he shot them to death. Okay. And then finally, we have an Italian man who argued with the son over Sony PlayStation Tactics. They were playing FIFA 2009, and his dad was like, "No, that's not how you play that. That's not how you play that. Do it like this, do it like that." And the son got so mad that he went into the next room and picked up a kitchen knife and stabbed his dad. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, so that would be Europeans in soccer, man.
So those are your 6. Did I read 6?
I think the worst thing is that you're smiling as you're saying all of this.
I'm sorry. No. Like I said, these are all terrible, and the way that I cope with terribleness is kind of making myself laugh. These are all terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if
it happens. Like you said, this is such a rare.
Okay. These are rare occurrences, and if you need me to go over them again, because like I said,
the Halo one,
it's a little hard.
The Halo one I know is real actually, because that one got a lot of provoke because they blame the video game for that one. Actually, I think that was good parenting. I think it was just bad that they had a gun accessible to the kid. Like that actually was good parenting to be like, no, because I think the story for that one is they didn't allow him to get Halo, so he went out and bought money, took out his own money, bought the game, because this was also before it was illegal to sell M games now, because now it's illegal, and he bought it, and he came and was playing, and they caught him, and they grounded him for it, and they took it from him, being responsible parents, but then. It was just that they didn't think that he would go that crazy. So, but that one I know is real. But the one I'm gonna go with is I think the Grand Theft Auto one is my choice for the shooting, because that I haven't heard that one or the FIFA. Those ones too. You know what? Actually,
here I'll read you the Grand Theft Auto one. That was again. Family of 2-person whose cars were shot at by teenage boys as they passed through the Great Smoky Mountains. Filed a $246 million lawsuit against Sony, Take-Two, Rockstars, and Walmart. Aaron Hamill, 45, was killed, and Kimberly Bade, 19, was wounded when their cars were fired upon in Newport, Tennessee. The boys told investigators they got their rifles from a locked room in their home and then started shooting at vehicles on Interstate 40, just like
yet again. Sorry to change the subject. Yet again, kids having access to guns. Okay, parents, you've got to lock your shit up and hide your keys or do something. Like, come on. They're blaming kids for this, and I get that it's the games, but it's the fact that your kids are getting access to your weapons.
Yeah.
See, I never thought, why are you gonna blame video games? I can never get a gun.
Yeah, like
if I have a gun accessible.
Yeah, like come on, parents. Hide your guns better, for crying out loud. Like I didn't even know my dad had a gun until I was like freaking 15.
Until he pointed at you.
Clean your fucking room. No, so my choice is actually gonna be the FIFA one. I'm gonna go with the kid stabs his dad over FIFA.
I don't know. Okay. They're European. Europeans love soccer.
That's true.
I think, you know what? I will go with the Grand Theft Auto one. That one seems, out of all of them, that one seemed the most sketchy to me. I don't know, for them to actually, because Grand Theft Auto, I remember correctly, Grand Theft Auto was San Andreas, Liberty City, and this took place in Tennessee.
Vice City,
Liberty City, and San Andreas.
What was the first one? That's the
Liberty
first one was
City.
called Liberty City.
Yeah, it wasn't called Liberty City, but it was in. It took place in
No,
Liberty
that's what I
City.
meant. That's
It
what I
was pretty much New York. It was supposed to be like New York or something.
Something like that.
That was basically New York. Now, it's sketchy because this took place in Tennessee. So I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. That seems real sketchy to me. So I'm gonna say Grand Theft Auto. That story.
Well, I know the StarCraft one is true because I remember that one, and it scared me from playing StarCraft for a little bit. But then I got back on it and just
It's StarCraft's not the devil.
No,
Scared him
it's
from playing
okay.
StarCraft.
no, because that game is addicting. I could see people playing 50 hours. Well, not 50, but I could see it playing for a while. And the
forever to be 2.
which was the RuneScape again? What's more details
RuneScape.
on that?
Sure. 16-year-old South Carolina boy lured his neighbor's 68-year-old grandfather into a secluded alley and then beat him with a brick so he could steal his gold watch and wallet. He needed the money to pay for his online gaming addiction of RuneScape. Although the 68-year-old survived the initial attack, he died 4 days later in hospital with brain injuries. Jason Saller is facing 2 counts of life in prison with no possibility of parole.
I'll go with the Grand Theft Auto one too. That one sounded too legit to be fake.
All right, so here's the deal. I know the RuneScape one is real. I remember hearing about that one. I know the Halo one was real, and the StarCraft one. I could have sworn that it was Diablo 3.
I could have sworn it was Diablo.
It was StarCraft.
But there was a Diablo one as well.
There was a Diablo one. If I not remember, I think I spoke to you.
Why are you looking at me?
I spoke to you about it, Travis. That
the StarCraft.
Yeah, when we were going to work together, I think I remember. It's like, oh, this guy just he was sitting there for like 3 days, and
that was like for one of the tournaments they had, right? Because like it
wasn't a tournament. It wasn't a tournament. It was
just playing.
He was just playing.
Maybe.
It was. He was.
There was a StarCraft
cafe maybe or something.
Yeah.
Right? There was in the cafe.
There was one in the cafe that died. Yeah.
Yeah, there was that Diablo 3. When Diablo 3 came out.
I know there was the one with there was a StarCraft LAN party, which like I know Korea has, where they just have like everyone, like similar to, is it QuakeCon in Texas, where everyone just brings their computers and they just all have LAN, but also it comes and talks to them and like reveals stuff. But yeah, they had it in Korea where there was like a week of straight StarCraft, and
Really?
they found someone dead in front of his keyboard. Because like all he had was Red Bulls and Monster, like energy drinks.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
and he just was dead. And they're like, holy shit! And they shook him, and it was because he was there for like 3 days straight. He hadn't slept. All he was just doing is
okay. Because this one was there. I think this guy was alone. The Diablo 3 guy. I think he was.
Yeah.
He was by himself.
I was gonna add that, but then I'm like, everyone probably.
Yeah.
knows
So
that one.
I'm saying those 3 are real. The ones that do sound scary, obviously the Grand Theft Auto one, and the English one sounds
Italian.
Italian.
The plumbers.
Was it Italian?
That's racist.
It was the Italian. It was Italian. Okay, the Italian one.
FIFA 09.
The FIFA. It was FIFA. Well, they love soccer everywhere, so I mean, I wouldn't.
Everywhere but U.S. right now.
Everyone with the US, that's true.
Yeah.
Everywhere but the U.S. loves soccer.
So I would still go with Grand Theft Auto. I think they point a good.
I'm the minority on this one.
Yeah, you are the minority.
In my swimming pool, I'm the minority.
So we got 4-1 here.
3-1.
This
3 to
time?
1.
3-1. Oh, okay. Burnley, where are you?
Is that how that song goes? That South Park song? There's a minority
In my water park.
My water
My water park.
All right,
The
guys.
lazy river has never been lazy.
So have you all locked in your answers?
Locked in.
Lock it in.
3 for Grand Theft Auto and 1 for the FIFA.
Yeah. The Grand Theft Auto one, that one just sounded so real. That was the thing that got me.
Okay.
But Pedro's a sneaky little bastard over
Yes,
here.
I am. Yes, I am.
So we'll see.
I'm 2-0 right now, gentlemen.
Yeah,
I'm 2-0.
He's 2-0.
Okay. So we're gonna go down the list. I'm gonna do this differently this week.
Punk ass.
A South Korean man that died after repeatedly playing an online computer game for 50 hours with a few breaks. That story is real.
Of course.
Okay. Florida mom Alexandra Tobias pleads guilty to murdering baby for crying during her Farmville game. That story is unfortunately also real.
Yeah, that one I knew was real. There's also, I think, was there a WoW family that left their baby alone while they like ignored it so they could play WoW?
Yeah.
And it died. And
Yeah.
And then was there also one of a woman that put her baby in a microwave to shut him up too for a game? I think it was.
I think it was like the dryer.
Was it? It was
What?
something, but it was for a video game, right?
Oh my
it was like
God.
for WoW or something.
it was a dryer, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a
I also my favorite one that I know is the guy who
Your favorite?
What a dude. He cut out the newspaper clipping. He puts it on his wall. You're
If
just
you guys
my
would
favorite.
let me finish this context. My favorite story for killing of people here, which sounds still bad.
Oh, wait, how's that any different?
This doesn't make any better from making my case. Is the one where the guy was getting harassed in Counter-Strike? Like he kept getting killed and over and over and over and again.
Yeah.
So the guy tracked one of the dude who was doing it, like traced his IP.
That was
track.
that was actually.
He flew to another
yeah.
country, went to his door and shot him in his doorway.
That was actually Halo.
Was it Halo?
Yeah, it was Halo.
Ah, that was Counter-Strike. Yeah, and he actually tracked the dude in another country, went to that country and killed the dude.
Yeah.
Because he was just trolling him all the whole time.
Hey, he's dedicated.
I agree with you.
See?
That's my new favorite now.
See, and but of course,
My favorite.
You're all monsters.
He went to jail.
All
I- I- he went to
monsters.
jail in that
Travis
country.
and Nasser Disaster.
I will pray for all of
He
you
went, to,
tonight.
he went to jail in that country, so whatever it was, it's worse than, of course, America. But probably getting his fingers pulled out. But I don't know. I just found that one to be the
Oh my
funniest.
God.
one.
Yeah, that's
what he
dedication.
Okay.
You guys don't see the
Yeah,
dedication in
see, like,
this.
he tracked this guy down through like his IP and everything to figure out where he lived, and then flew to that country just to murder this guy. for
Okay.
trolling. Anyways, go on to the next one.
Okay. Ohio teenager Daniel Petrick, who killed his mother over Halo 3 video games. That was also true, guys.
Of course.
This kid
So
was
we're
just-
breaking it down here. We got the last two choices. Oh, we got three more choices. Sorry,
Oh, we
the
did?
last three. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did baby
Yeah.
StarCraft and Halo guy.
Okay. No, we got Grand Theft Auto. We got RuneScape, and we have
RuneScape was true.
real.
and we
The
have
RuneScape was true.
Italian Man.
All right, here we go.
So
It's just tricky.
who? I'm sorry. Can
got
you guys just
I got-
reiterate what your choices were?
I chose
already forgot.
the kid stabs dad over FIFA.
Okay.
Is that
you
what
all-
it was? He stabbed his dad, right?
Yes.
And
And
then
you all chose Grand Theft Auto
the
3.
Grand Theft Auto murder.
Okay.
So the RuneScape one, you could just knock it off. We know that one was real.
Grand Theft Auto 3 inspired shooting. That is real, guys.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
So 3 down.
See, it was.
I don't know why you guys didn't
Wait,
choose
wait.
something different.
When he went into the whole lawsuit about the numbers about suing, I do remember reading something online way back when about them suing Sony Grand Theft Auto because they tried to sue Sony thinking it was their responsibility too because it was on the PlayStation. And I think Sony quickly opted out of that because like we didn't make the game, we just have it on our console. We didn't even publish the game, so I do remember something like that. Sorry,
Okay.
Vaughn.
And so we have two last choices.
Oh man, am I gonna finally?
No,
get
he's
number
gonna win. He's gonna win because the RuneScape one's real. I remember.
And
hearing about
Travis,
Travis?
Italian man who argued with his son over FIFA 09. You are also wrong, sir.
that. Jesus
What?
It was the RuneScape.
What the hell?
RuneScape, 16-year-old boy, South Carolina boy who lured his neighbor into an alley and beat him with a brick. That is fake. When I saw George said that, oh, that one's definitely real, I'm
That
like,
one's
yes,
real. I heard
yes, I
about
got him
that.
again. That one is not real, guys. I made that up today.
Are you serious?
I made that up today.
Look that shit up, man. Look that shit. I could have sworn I heard about that.
That is not real.
No.
No, it's free, but it has limitations.
Yeah, you have to pay.
Membership to do more
Yeah.
things.
3 and 0. 3 and 0. 3 and
Oh
0.
my god, damn! I thought I actually had that one. I never heard of that. I guess we don't hear about Italian news that much.
Yeah. So now I just want to put this into perspective, I guess. Even though these are all, well, 5 of these are real and somewhat related to gaming. Only one of them is actually, or 2 of them are actually in correlation to actually like a video game, I would say. Because that Farmville mom, like she was playing a game, but I don't know, like, how is that Farmville game gonna make you violent,
That's just
especially since it's not a violent video game. That's obviously this lady is, bonkers.
I think that lady just didn't have her priorities straight.
Yeah.
She had to do something else and pay attention to her kid, and
Exactly.
she just happened to find something. It could have been a video game. It could have been a really good, I don't know, a TV show or something that she really liked.
Yeah.
It could have been anything that she just
Yeah.
hey, shut up, I'm doing what I want to do.
The boy that stabbed his dad, that's obviously he was mad at his dad. It was in FIFA 09. He didn't, I haven't played FIFA 09, but I'm pretty sure there's not like overtime where you run at each other with knives and stuff and encourage you, like to kill each other. And then so basically, the Halo 3 one, the guy killed his parents. Like I think
that was
maybe you could relate that somewhat, but even then, like he's
Even then, it's
like
even then for that
He's a
one,
disturbed kid.
yeah, that's the kid's fault. It's like,
Yeah, that kid had some problems.
He probably got spoiled. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I want to emphasize again, it was actually very hard to find all of these.
Yeah.
So this doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
So
Even-
come on, Congress, get in your head. There's
even
no
then-
correlation. Like,
even then, Pedro, like I have to add this. Even then, for the StarCraft run, it's not even the video game's fault.
yeah, that's just
like, hey,
That's
I-
just
Yeah.
neglect.
That's
that's just addiction. That's the same as like a drug
Yeah,
addiction.
that's-
exactly an
it's-
addiction could be anything.
It's just it's the person, they have to learn their own control.
hmm
I mean, the gun ones, like the Grand Theft Auto one and the kid shooting his parents, that's, that the Halo one, that comes down to actually parenting being good when they should be, but at the same time, not thinking. I mean, true, you don't think that your kid's gonna shoot you. That's a tough one to do.
I hope not.
But at the same time, like I said, I really don't think your kid should know, like, be able to have access to a gun like that. Like, if he knows where your keys are, like, I don't know, like. But then again, I don't know what the situation was. For all we know, the parents thought it was hidden.
yeah,
And snooped.
that's
But to be fair, too, though, like this is really random. But my sister likes watching like ID channel. What's it called? It's it's basically 24/7 death.
Yeah.
And like they were showing one about like kids going crazy or twins, and then it's all just really like. Sometimes they just come out like tweaked, where
they come
where-
out tweaked.
or like they're antisocial and they don't like really know the value of death. Where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
Halo 3 are my parents. It's Halo 3.
Yeah.
It's like, it could
Don't
be
worry, they're gonna
anything.
respawn. It's all good.
They'll respawn in a few minutes. They'll respawn in a few seconds.
Where the hell's the health pack? Yeah, but I mean, we could go on that
Yeah,
forever.
like I said, that's-
It'll add an extra hour to this.
that's a
So
rabbit hole of a
we're gonna
conversation.
go ahead and wrap this up. Our 5th episode, guys. I'm
Yeah,
proud
no.
of us. I'm proud of us. We made it this far.
We're getting there, man.
Yeah,
we're
well,
getting there.
we're so,
Now we just need listeners. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
We need you listeners. We need you guys to follow us on Twitter at deadformatar.
Mhm.
You comment on us, and we need you to like us on Facebook so we can start getting more stuff on the
Sounds so
Facebook.
aggressive.
It's
You've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. I'm worried on you. I'm worried
Alright,
about you, 2K.
All right. Well, I'll go hide your guns, Pedro. I'm gonna play. Go follow us on Twitter and at Facebook. Like us on Facebook. It's just at Dead Format Reviews on Facebook, at Dead Format R on Twitter. Email us at deadformatreviews@gmail.com and just tweet us. Do something. Send us questions. We love to hear feedback. To know what you want to hear, what we should talk about. Just ask us a question.
Yeah. And Burnley should be back next week, right?
Yeah, we'll have
Hopefully.
have the original guys. The Fad Four back next week.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for Speak Geek this week. Thanks to our guest Nasser for joining us this
Yeah,
week.
Nasser coming in late.
Coming in late, but better late than never. So I'm Pedro, guys.
I'm George.
I'm Travis.
Junior.
And I'm Nasser.
Yay, Nasser! Get out there and speak some geek, guys.